Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to break down every single hand I played in this final table, PKO tournaments, and some hands I should have played and did not. And the solutions you are going to see here on the right are a somewhat close solution to the right spot, not the exact solution. So you guys understand what you are seeing is an approximate of the spot, not the exact solution, okay? So let's dive deep into the most interesting hands, basically. Analyze the ranges, pre-flop mostly, and some spots post-flop as well. 6-2 suited fold, especially with 2 big stacks on the blinds. Right now we are 2 out of 7. Ace check, easy open. We can see here the range we are supposed to open. Let's analyze these if we have to do any changes. I will probably not open like the bottom, like queen 6 suited, queen 5 suited. Maybe I will fold king 3 suited also. And that's it. King 9 off I'll probably always fold. Yeah, that's it. Even a 6 off, I think I will mainly fold. But yeah, makes sense. Let's go. King queen off. Again, we are going to be way tighter than the previous spot just because the chip leader is on the bottom. Makes sense to open a tighter range, but let's see. Ace 9 off, I will probably... Yeah, it makes sense to open 50-50. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to open this spot, Ace 9 off. King 10, I think I'll probably open still. Just because he's the chip leader on the bottom and I don't think he's 3-betting enough here. This guy, as you can see, as you are going to see in the next hand, he's going to open a 3-bet. A very wide range, I would say. But this guy is not very active as chip leader. So we can still probably open Ace 9 off, King 10 off, King 5 suit to make sense. And this cold call never exists in the GTO. In the GTO land. He mainly needs to 3-bet to 5 big blinds, somewhat like that, with every single hand he wants to play. Right now it's a very interesting spot because his range is going to be very in this area, like his check suited, 10s, 8s, 9s, king queen suited, ace queen, like every combo of ace queen probably. But like I said, all of these hands I'm mentioning, the right play pre-flop is to 3-bet to 5 big blinds just because he wants to deny equity from the other players. It's super easy to play after against 4-bet. And he's taking out hands like ace king off from my range post-flop, because I'm going to show all of his hands for pre-flop. Ace king, queen, jacks, I'm going to show all of his hands. But once he checks the flop, his range now, he can still have hands like ace check. Let's say ace 10 suited maybe, ace check, 9s. 9s is the most obvious hand he's going to have here, I think. Maybe some king queen suited and ace queen as well. Now I don't think I have a value bet. I can block bet, so just I can still extract value from his check and ace 10 suited. And I don't face a bigger bet when I check basically. Because when he has hands like a 9s or his queen, if I check he can bet a bigger size. That's very bad for us and for our hand, I think. So yeah, I think I can still bet a little bit less, like 2 lines or 1.8 maybe. It's probably better than this. He calls now, I think he just needs to check. And some players might consider to bluff here, but I don't think it's good. It's probably good to bluff because I don't think he has too many flushes here. We have the queen of diamonds, he doesn't have his queen suited. He doesn't have his jack of diamonds as well. Doesn't have his king, he can have his 10 of diamonds for sure, yeah, it's one combo. He doesn't have his 9 suited, I think. He basically just have one combo of flushing. He's going to have ace 10 suited, that's it. Yeah, it might make sense to shove here. Or go for a check shove, I mean, it might make sense. Let's say he value bets 9s on the river. He actually can fold where's checker is. That's actually the first time I thought about that on the river, checker raise. I think it makes a lot of sense. Blocking his queen suited is very important, I think. 7 this off, nice. And this play is very tight, as you are going to see throughout the final table. This guy is opening some hands to 2 blinds and the other, some part of the range to 3 blinds. You have to be, as you can see now, you have to be very careful with this. And try to understand what is he doing. Seems like when he opens to 3 big blinds, he has a stronger range. Yeah, let's analyze this range. We are still second in chips. Yeah, we can probably open a little bit wider, like every time Jack 10 off. Then it's suited. The only thing bad about this spot is the button, as you are going to see, is 3-betting a little bit wide. Not abusing the spot, but 3-betting some hands in bluff. At this point I don't know that. At this point this is the first time we 3-bet on the final table. It's still suited. As you can see, mostly folds. But we have to 4-bet here some hands in bluff. Makes sense to have ace 5 suited, ace 4. Ace 3, 6 makes a lot of sense. Some ace jack, ace queen off. That's it. Some king x suited as well. If the guy is 3-betting too much, we can abuse this spot and 4-bet a lot. It's super difficult for him to shove in bluff as well. All of these hands like ace 5 suited, ace 4, ace 3. But I don't think, especially in this final table, I don't think it's worth it to 4-bet a lot in bluff. When we are second in chips against the 3rd place. Especially when the other opponents are going to make several mistakes along the final table, as you are going to see. Is he open? Makes sense to open ace 10 off plus. And queen jack off, I think we can still open here. Covering these three players. This was the most close spot I found. I think we can call something like this. Let's see again. Let's see if I call Jack 9 suited. Probably not. I think I will fold Jack 9 suited. I will fold ace 3 off. But apart from that, I think we can call the rest. King 10 off, I think we can call. Ace 4, ace 5 off, 12. Ace 2 suited. Makes sense. Especially with a big bounty. Think we know. Think we can fold basically. Despite this guy having a somewhat tight range, we are going to 3-bet or call on the water. I will skip a lot of these hands in this spot because this range is tighter than normal, I think. I will not 3-bet. Especially with this frequency, all of these suited kings, all of these suited aces, off-suited aces. There are a lot of combos. I think we need to tighten up a little bit here against someone that is not opening. Or it should. This is what I think might be wrong. But against 4-bet, we are supposed to show some 7s, 8s, 9s and 10s. Some king jack suited, king 10 suited. We have to be very careful here against the population. Because the 4-bet range here is super strong. I'm not even going to show this queen off, I think, in this spot. Yeah, I don't think so. I will play ace queen off, maybe. Like I would play ace queen suited. But mainly call, I think, or fold. What happened here? Ace 3 off against the 2 ship leaders on the blinds. Yeah, you have to be somewhat tight. Ace 5 off makes sense. Still. Then ace 8 plus, probably. I think we might have to skip king 3 suited, queen 5 suited. Yeah, I think we might have to skip 10-7 suited. And maybe 7-6 suited, I'm not sure. No, I'm still open this end. No fear. Ace-9 again is a very good candidate to 3-bet, but not always, of course. This is a very strong range here under the gun opening. I will skip a lot of these offsuited aces like Ace-3, Ace-4, Ace-5, Ace-6. I will never 3-bet in this situation. Even Ace-7. We'll start consider 3-bet Ace-8 plus sometimes. Mainly Ace-10, Ace-Jack and Ace-Queen. And then some suited aces, of course. I snap folded, but just because these two guys are here, but I think we can open sometimes, or most of the times here is 9 off. Just basically, this guy is not going to 3-bet a lot on the cutoff, I think, and this guy is not 3-betting too much. The only downside is that the big blind now is more chips than us. Not anymore. Now we are going to start to see very interesting spots. As we found out in the other end, I assume this guy probably has a very strong range when he opens to 3 big blinds. And as you can see on the HUD, this is opening a very few hands. With that in mind, additionally he opens to 3 big blinds, this guy cold calls, and this guy goes all in. I really want to go all in because I covered everyone, basically. But when I start to think about this range, especially this range, these guys might not be aware of the tight range that this guy has here on the cutoff, and he probably is going to shove a little bit wide, I don't know. But I fold this hand because of this range was. This guy needs to be very tight because super strong range here. This guy will never fold as well. His queen is king. Here on the button. Yeah, I think we can skip probably Jack 5 suited, like the bottom. Ace 3 off, Jack 5, Queen 3. And that's it. Yeah, probably Queen 8 off, I'll probably fold as well. 10 8. This in the solver is not possible to, in the wizard basically, it's not possible to see because the solver likes to use a smaller size here, to 6.5. And against that, this King X suited like to 4-bet in bluff, basically. Especially when the small blind is deeper. Let's say he has 30 big blinds and 3-bets to 6.5. These are the perfect candidate to 4-bet in bluff. Not sure, just 4-bet. But this size seems like he's committed against me, and he's using this size just to see if the big blind goes all in. And I call it, basically. That's probably the reason. Now everyone is very similar in stack size. This player leads in King Jack 7. Let's see what he has. It's small. Seems like he has like King 9 or something. And if I have to put this guy in the hand, it's King 9 for sure. Maybe King 10. Yeah, it seems like the pairs or some kind of 9. Jack 10 makes sense as well. And this guy is King 9. And the size on the turn seems to be like a very weak hand. That wants to see the river for a cheaper price. So this guy is basically playing the strength of these hands with the sizes he uses, basically. Pre-flop and post-flop. For those mainly folds, this was the most similar spot I found. We are going to 3-bet in bluff some Ace X, King X, Queen X. Makes sense. Never shove here, 35 blinds. Yeah, still fold a lot. The solver likes to use 3.5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This situation. A little bit more, we are going to fold a little bit more than this. But nothing special. A little bit less, I would say. You have to call more when you open the 3 big ones. And 3 suited, this seems to be the bottom. But in this configuration, With the stack sizes on the table, I will probably fold queen for suited. Yeah, I'm very positive I will fold queen for suited. Check 5, check 6, probably fold. Yeah, I think I will fold another layer basically. Ace 4, king 8 fold. Check 9 fold probably. Fold, 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 fold. That's it. Here's the same. Now we have to be even more tighter. And it's 2 big blinds. 2 blinds with more chips than us. Makes sense these range, like ace 8 plus. Check 10 off, starts to be a little bit, I'll probably fold more often than this. I will fold queen 7 suited as well. For this part seems... I will open 5 just because it's a super easy shove against a 3-bet from a small blind, for example. I will fold 4s, probably. No lead. No lead, basically this guy can bet a lot because he's saying he doesn't have anything. Now it's interesting, now he's saying he has a very strong range on the turn. He has like what? Maybe ace 10, 10, 10, 9, some flushes. Even ace 4, okay. Makes sense to check this hand on the floor. Yeah, ace 4 is a little bit ambitious. Windows, snap fold. Can 3-bet in bluff some ace 6. Maybe some ace 2, ace 3 off, ace 4 off probably. But I will not 3-bet a lot here, just because of the stack size. This guy has 11 blinds. Let's see, he opens to 3 big blinds as well, again, with 11 blinds total. And this guy goes all in. And he has kings. Okay, makes sense. I'm actually happy to see this when I followed that, because now I know he can pull to the top of the range as well in that size. It's not just his king or his queen. Yeah, this guy 3-bets queen 4 from the big blind, as you can see. Easy open. We have to see that. I think we have to, especially in this flop. Big blinds going to have so many snap folds that you can probably see bet almost everything with a very small size. But I'm not sure. Actually, you can, in theory, it might make sense to check a lot as well, as like ace check, ace 10. They really don't want to face check raise. Even jack 10. Or ace queen, queen jack, something like that. Might make sense to check some hands here. In mini 3-bets, then uses this size, he has a lot of kings, for sure. But he can still have hands like check 10, check 9, ace 10 probably. Some backdoors like ace 3 suited. Because I'm going to, in his mind he might think I have a lot of ace check off, ace 10 off, queen jack. That's probably going to fold all of his hands on the river basically. When I miss, might actually make sense to bluff a lot here. Especially in this river, might make sense to bet a lot again. For value, he probably can, with his size all in, he can probably just shove to pairs plus. I don't think he can shove, and it's like king jack. Might be wrong, but I don't think so. Maybe king jack is the bottom, but I think it's too ambitious probably. Because I need to call king 10 suited, yeah. There's not too many calls. I need to call probably some ace jack to be good, I think. Some ace queen as well. But pairs make sense. Easy fold. Now we have a very interesting spot, because this guy opens a very wide range. Now I have to decide if I want... The solver likes to 3-bet here every time, despite the big blind being super short. He never cold calls here, with kings. Or aces or queens, he 3-bets every time he's up. I decide to call, unlike the big blinds. As you can see, the solver, even 10s will 3-bet most of the times, some 9s. Makes sense. Now, Now we are basically playing. Now I have to decide if I want to induce or just shove. I think shove is a very big mistake here. But the size is very interesting. Yes. Might make sense to use this size and fold against shove with some hands. Like the first time that comes to mind is like ace 10. I call on a small blind like ace 10 suited probably, ace 9 suited. Something like that. Maybe some king queen. I call on the small blinds. He's never folding here. Against the shove from the big blind, he's going to call every single hand. So he has a lot of trash in this range basically. It makes sense to raise something like this, maybe 14 blinds, like king queen, ace 10, ace 9, and then fold if this guy should. Is he open? Now we can open a lot more hands here. It's too soft, I'm not sure if I'm going to open or not. I think we can, just because the big blind is not betting a lot. But the danger is the small blinds. The chip leader, as we saw earlier, he likes to 3-bet a lot. He 3-bet queen 4 off from the big blind against this guy. But still, I would probably fold 10-5 suited. Jack 8 off. Probably fold as well. And that's it, just fold the bottoms. Ace 2, king 7, jack 8, 10-5. Something like that. Against 3-bet, he doesn't have fold. Might make sense to 4-bet some hands like ace 9 off, ace 10, king queen. Some suited aces. We have to shove some pairs like 9, jacks, and 10s, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, strong enough, they need protection. But the main thing here, we have to make sure this guy's 3-betting enough. So, because if he's not 3-betting enough, these shoves, especially from these lower pairs, are losing a lot. Especially with these two guys still on the table, with 20 blinds. But I think we have enough information here to shove all of these pairs with his queen very easily. 7-6 suited, I folded, I think. Just because this guy, I expect this guy to 3-bet a lot in this situation. And I don't want to play a big box in this configuration. Jack 10. As we saw earlier, this guy opens to 3 big blinds with the strongest part of the range. Still, Jack 10 never wants to 3-bet here, I think. He's at a snap call. You can probably start to exclude the strongest part of the range here. By like aces, kings, ace king, ace queen, even jacks. With that said, he has a very tight range still. You can probably exclude all of these weaker hands. Probably, most likely. It's going to be very middle top. Going to be a lot of hands like in this range, let's say. Especially here. Is what I'm expecting. So I call, snap check. Now I'm thinking, I really don't want to face a check raise here. Or check back. The worst turn came. He has a lot of aces, I think. Especially ace check, ace 10, maybe some ace 9, something like that, ace 5 suited, ace 8 suited, hands like that. You can still have some king queen, queen jack suited. I still call because it might not too much, but not too often. We might be ahead sometimes. When we hit the king or the 8, I think we can extract a lot of value against them, like ace 10, ace jack, ace 9, ace 5. I think we have to call on the turn. On the river. I was thinking I might bet to making fold hands like, I don't know, king jack and king 10. But I don't think it's worth it. He's going to have a lot of aces, it's not going to fold. I need to use a very big size here, I think, if I want to bet. I'm not sure if I want to value bet ace 4, for example. I don't think so. I don't think I can bet. So it's going to be queens, queen x plus, queen x and some flushes. And he has ace 10. Let's analyze this range. I think we have to play a little bit tighter than this. For those, it's a snap call. But I think, as you can see, we are not going to raise a lot. Mainly leap, that's why you can leap a lot of hands still. But still, I think we have to fold the bottom. Hands like 10-6, Jack-6, Jack-5. Just because this guy is probably going to abuse this spot, as you are going to see. Now this is a very interesting situation, because we know that this guy likes to use a bigger size when he has a top of the range. And now he opens to 2 big blinds. If I'm playing this hand right now, I would always 3-bet this ace-4 suited. And I decided to fold in game. This is the range we are supposed to 3-bet. A lot of suited aces, suited king, some queen 9, queen 8, 6, 10, ace 9 off, king queen, king jack. With that in mind, I know that this guy, in game I know that this guy doesn't have the top of the range, but still, he doesn't have the weakest part of the range as well that he's supposed to go. So with that in mind, I don't think we can 3-bet a lot against him, because he's going to have still a lot of ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, king queen, jacks, 10s, 9s. With that in mind, I will probably 3-bet now, knowing that what I know. I think it's worth it. It's the best play. This guy 3-bet and he fold. Yes. I fold a6 off here. I think we have to fold. These two guys have 20 blinds each. This guy is on the bottom. 7-5. It's a fold in this configuration. Yeah, makes sense. You can still 3-bet a lot here in bluff, especially in 4-value. 4-value will probably 3-bet jacks plus his queen, jacks. And I think I will make me call, just because I think we have a lot of value and not putting too much value in this situation. But jacks I think is strong enough. His queen also, this guy can shove a lot of his 5. His 5 suited, his 4, king queen, let's say. This is the first difficult spot I found. As you can see, he's using a very big size, as he should probably, as it's very difficult to play. If he uses a size like 3 big blinds or 3.5, it's super easy to play here in king queen. And most of my range is super easy, but when he starts to use bigger sizes, I actually don't know what is the threshold between calling or folding. Need to think about it. With these two guys, super, like 20 blinds each. But his hand is strong enough, I stall. Now it starts to become interesting because he has a lot of jack 5 off, queen 5, jack rose, queen 8, queen 7, all of these hands. And he still has a lot of value, 10s plus, queen jack, his king is 10, king 10, all of these hands he probably has as well. With that in mind, when I call here, my range is super strong, I think. A lot of ace-x, every combo of queen jack, king 10, ace 10, king queen, king jack, suited and off, jack 10, all of these hands I have, every time. And he uses this big size. Here I have no idea actually. I have no idea, just for one reason. Maybe 2 reasons. First reason is basically when I call the flop, my range is super strong, and he still decides to bluff or to bet on the turn. He's super ambitious, I will say, to bluff a lot in this situation. Maybe trying to make me fold some jack 10, ace 5 suited, something like that. Might make sense. But I'm not going to fold too much, I think, on the turn, when I call the flop. And second, I think I don't want to call too much here in this configuration, being second in chips with 4 players left, with these 2 guys here very tight. It's a very tricky spot, I think. Let me know what you guys do here on the turn. And let me know, most importantly, what you guys are going to do when with a river is like a deuce or a 3 and he goes all in. Let me know if you call king queen. Because I think when I call the turn I have to call a lot of rivers as well. Because let's say he has a hand like queen 6, jack 5, I expect him to show a lot on the river. Might be wrong, but that's why I call on the turn. I think the worst play by me is to call on the turn and fold the river. Just basically, I think it's the worst play. This is what I think. I might be mistaken. Let me know. It's 7, I folded. It's 9. I think it's strong enough to play. Yeah, something like this makes sense. This guy called. Now we have a very interesting spot. I was checking if this guy check raises a lot or not, and he has 0% of check raise. With that in mind, I see bet a lot. I'll probably see bet everything. There's reasons to use bigger size on the flop, for sure. Just to put maximum pressure, even in hands like ace deuce. I don't know, 7-5 suited. Even hands like 6-4 suited. 9-7. If I use a big size on the flop, he starts to become a draw, I think. No, with this action, I think we have to fold. We have almost no folds on our range. For 3 easy fold, especially when we are second of the fold. Deuces, yeah, I don't think you can call here. 6s might make sense to call. I think I'll never 3-bet 6s here, mainly call. But I understand why the solver 3-bets almost everything. I will still mainly call with 6s and 7s, start to 3-bet sometimes, and 8s probably as well, I'm still calling. I'll probably start to 3-bet to 5 big blinds, ends like 9s, 10s, jacks, and all of these ends are rough. I'll call the most obvious ones like with suited is jack, king jack, is 10. You can put maximum pressure on the opener, and it's super easy to play then, after that. Back forward, I think we can't call, can't raise. Just folds. Now uses 3 big blinds again, a very strong range probably. I think at this point everyone is aware of that. And for suited, I think we have to call. Easy call. I think this spot on the solver we have slightly fewer chips, like maybe 20 something, 25, 20 blinds. That's why he shoves a lot. Here we have 27, we are going to shove a little bit, just a little bit late I think. But makes sense, these range. 3-betting bluff, ace to soft, king 3, king 4, jack 5. Still call a lot. Makes sense. Fold flop, not even a diamond to consider check raise against a very wide range. Check 10 against the limp. Yeah, nothing to do, I think. I'm off. Can consider. Never mind, I will say I can consider 3-bet a small size like 5.5 probably. 5. Snapshot. We have to fold this end, yeah. I think this range makes a lot of sense. I think the solver here has a slightly fewer chips, like maybe between 15 and 18, something like that. That's why he shoves some hands like his 10 is check. Most obvious ones. He has around 15 big blinds here. I will still fold jack 7 suited. Fold a lot of suited aces. And that's it. I will probably fold hands like 9-7 suited, I think. And 7-6. I will fold these hands as well. Just to be honest. It's for suited, I think we have to open. And it's a very good hand for that shove if you decides to 3-bet. I was prepared to shove if this guy uses a size between 4.5 and 5 big blinds. Maybe smaller, maybe between 4 and 4.5. But he calls, the big blind calls as well. Now we are going to the flop with a very strong range. And this guy has a very wide range, I think. With that in mind, he can still have hands like his check suited because he doesn't want to 3-bet fold. He can have hands like his queen off probably because he doesn't want to 3-bet call, maybe. Or his 10 suited, his check suited, king queen suited, all of his hands he can still have. But of course he's going to have a very wide range like 9-8 suited, 10-9, 10-8, probably 7-5 suited maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure. He probably has a lot of hands. When he raised, my plan was very simple. Check raise with a very strong range. Shove in every club, every 5, even if he has like Jack 10 off, Jack 10 suited. Facing this action is going to have a lot of trouble in continue, I think. Maybe snap calls it on the turn in Jack 10. But when I'm here facing this kind of action, on the flop I'm actually just right in big trouble, I think. Because his range is super strong when I open here with 18 big blinds. And if I face a shove on the turn, I will mainly fold Jack 10. And Queen Jack as well. Probably King Jack I will cry and call, I don't know. But the main point is going to be this guy is going to fold a lot. Because he's supposed to have a very strong range here. The plan was very simple and effective, I think. 7-4 fold. Fold, I think. He still has to play a lot of hands here. This solution is for 20 big blinds if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Makes sense to show all of his pairs, all of his offsuited aces. Check deuces right here, just fold, but we are still going to raise some hands. Still, we need many hands, so we are not going to snap fold everything. For this is a very interesting spot because there's two main reasons here to think about these hands. The first one is the button is somewhat active, you have to be somewhat tight. The second is the big blind is super tight, I think. It's not 3-betting enough for value and in bluff. So we have one thing balancing the other. But I think this range makes sense, like king 6 suited, probably king 7. Perhaps I will open every time here. Ace 8, I will open, I think. Yeah, a lot of these hands I will open. Just because I think the big blind is being super tight. I'm not showing enough. Multi-way 9-7, I think we have to fold. This is tricky to find the solution because the small blind is not supposed to call a lot here. Almost anything. He's going to play a 3-bet fold strategy. Shove some hands, 3-bet some hands and fold some hands as well. But when he calls, I think we have to fold 9-7. Yeah, we have to be somewhat tight. We can shove some aces. I think we can't shove too many aces here. Just because this range is tighter than normal, I think. But we have to skip, I will skip a lot of these ace 2, ace 3, ace 4 off. Ace 6 off, I will skip, never shove. Ace 5, I will consider 3-bet fold, please fold. Especially against this guy. Even hands like ace 7, ace 8, ace 9 off, I will squeeze. I'm not sure. Just because they are crushed when this guy shows, so I'm basically left. Or drawing very thin, I think. And this range is super tight, probably. He probably has hands here in the calling range that he's supposed to show. Like ace jack, ace 10 suited, some pairs. Some suited broadways. Check check. And as you can see, this guy has 8. The snap show prefer. Now, with the information that we know, I don't think he has the top of the range here. Still, somewhat tight range. So it's going to be very condensed in the middle part, I think, like ace check and below. Maybe some ace 5 suited, something like that. A lot of broadways, some pairs. And never aces, never ace king, never ace queen, never queens plus. But I don't think he has hands like ace 5 off, I don't think he has hands like ace 8 off. With that in mind, I went all in, but I think it was a mistake. In retrospect, I think I need to use a size so I can fold when both of them go all in. Maybe 10 blinds or something. is the right play. 422 lines is too much. There are a lot of, especially with 0.5 big lines in the middle in antes. I think it's too much to show there 22 lines against the players. Now this is a very interesting spot, because we don't see this too often. Almost never, I would say. And I'm not sure if 5-3 suited has enough equity to call. I folded, and I used a spot somewhat similar, and the solver told me, basically you can call some hands. Like the offsuited part never calls, basically some king queen probably. Some ace 10 might make sense as well. Ace 9 never makes sense to call here against 3 players. King jack, I think I will never call those, I'm not sure. Might call king jack because I'm calling this guy with a big bounty. But still, makes a lot of sense to follow all of these hands, because they are dominated a lot. Makes sense to shove a lot, like ace jack plus, 7s plus makes sense, just because there's a lot of dead money in the middle. And we are going to call very tight, I think. 5-3 easier, but this range is super weird because the solver. This situation doesn't happen too often, that's why. But I think this kind of range makes a lot of sense. Doesn't make sense to shove all of these lower pairs because they are going to be dominated quite often by this range, especially on the button. I think they have enough equity to show. I forward, like these guys battle against each other. This guy leads on an ace high board after calling with 16 lines or something. At 9s I can do whatever I want, call, raise, never fold. I think we are going to raise very few hands in this spot, that's why I limp. Easy check, I think we can have top backs here, because he's going to call a lot of hands with one spade. Can probably value bet on the turn, but still I'm expecting to have some 10s, still some jacks. Of course, now we have an easy value bet, and probably use a bigger size than this. Might make sense. I probably is 5, but I'm not sure. Here shows that somewhat mixed strategy. You can probably open here. Snapshot. X, easy open. Nice to see these 3 bets. But let's analyze the shoving range. You can shove almost every pair basically. 5 plus. Suited Broadways is queen off. Almost never call. Like the most then that makes no sense is ace jack suited and ace 10 suited. Because they are dominating a lot of ace X especially. They are dominating a lot of king jack, queen 10, jack 10, something like that. Makes sense. But we have to fold hands like king queen. And even ace jack off is going to fold every time. It's probably the best play here for the 3 bet. I think we never fold that. Follow 3 bet, as you can see here. I was thinking if I want to 3 bet with these kind of players on the tighter side. And I think I prefer to call more often than 3 bet, just to be honest. I think I'm putting too much guidance, 3 betting a lot here. I folded. And that's it guys. This was the part 1 on the final table. On the next video, I'm going through 400, 300 and the heads up as well. So stay tuned for that, okay guys, see you.